Well, now it's time to check in with KHQA's own Allison Brown, who is not far from home this morning.
No, she's playing like Yoda, getting us all ready for for snacks for back to school season. Good morning, Allison. No, I'm not calling you old. Just all me.
Good morning. I'm loving the Star Wars reference, but let's take it down a notch. So now we're going to talk a little bit about healthy eating. School will be starting soon, and that means that your kids will come home hungry. That means that you'll have to have your fridges and your pantry stocked. So with me this morning to talk about healthy eating is Alexis Schulte from Quincy Medical Group. So we're going to talk about healthy breakfast first.
Yep, starting the day off right.
All right, so because that's the most important meal of the day.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we have here?
So today we have just a few breakfast options that not everybody thinks of. A real easy one is just a whole wheat bagel with peanut butter and banana sliced up. Sometimes you can add a little bit of honey if you want a little sweet flavor. And then just some skim milk to start off the day with our calcium and some protein.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about the milk. Because, again, this is fat-free. I'm used to all my fat. I love fat. So why is it good not to have fat in our milk?
So fat-free milk or reduced fat milk, it's just more important than doing a whole milk. After the age of 3, we don't really need that milk fat in our diet for the brain development. So doing a skim or a fat-free reduces the amount of calories and saturated that you get in your diet.
Okay, let's move on to this plate. So what's on this plate?
So this is a breakfast burrito, homemade. So this is something that you can actually make a bunch of them ahead of time and then freeze them. And then your kids can just grab them out of the freezer, heat them up in the microwave.
Okay.
So we've got some egg, low sodium turkey and some cheese in here on a whole wheat tortilla and a kiwi. And we were actually talking that not too many people know how to open a kiwi. So one thing that you want to do is you just slice open the kiwi and then you take a spoon and you actually scoop out the insides.
I never knew that. Again, I was telling you earlier, I would slice it like an orange, just eat it like an orange instead of doing it like that. So that's really cool.
Makes it a little bit easier.
That's a lot easier than what I've been doing, a lot less messy.
Yes. And then one of my favorite options, and this isn't cooked yet, but we have some whole grain rolled oats, not the quick cooking, and with some almonds and some chocolate. And if you put that in the microwave, the chocolate's actually going to melt. It's dark chocolate, and it'll be a nice and smooth texture.
Oh, wow. So that sounds all amazing. Very healthy options, but also really good. Coming up, we'll tell you what other eating options that you should have.
Stomachs are already growling. By the way, today, National Milk Chocolate Day.
I was going to say that chocolate has all of us over here just mouth-watering.
So celebrate by putting it in some oatmeal, I guess, right?
A little bit earlier because you're going to be headed back to school.
Yeah.
Hate to admit it.
Hopefully, if you're a kid getting ready to go back to school, you're still sleeping.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of school was lunch.
Yeah, well.
And now it's time to check in with KHQA's Allison Brown, who is talking just that, healthy eats to get your kids ready for school.
Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, y'all, and I agree with you, Kristen. My favorite part of school was lunch, too, and that's what we're talking about today. And with me to talk about that is Alexis from Quincy Medical Group. So let's start here. What do we have here?
This is a take on the typical bagged lunch that everybody thinks about. So we have a turkey and cheese sandwich. We actually used Hawaiian rolls because they're a little bit of sweet. They give a kid a little bit of more fun. Fruit cups, these are for sale everywhere, but we really want to make sure that we get in light syrup or in its own fruit juice to avoid all that extra sugar. Popcorn is a fabulous thing to add to bagged lunches. These are high in fiber, low in sodium, and they have a little bit of a fun idea. And then some veggies and dip, and then a light yogurt, which these come in a number of different flavors, so the kids can use it as a dessert almost.
Okay, now let's go here. I'm really excited about this, and if y'all could smell this, y'all would be amazed. So what do we have here?
So this is a little bit of a healthier version of the Lunchable. What we've done is we've taken another whole wheat bagel, or you can use a whole grain English muffin also. This one's melted, so if they're going to school, it might not be melted, but the same idea. So a little bit of tomato sauce, some low sodium turkey, and some mozzarella cheese on it. Compared to the real Lunchable, we've cut sodium in half and lowered the fat by 1/3 too. So much better option.
Okay, well, let's move down here. And what is this? Because what we don't see is from 1 to 3, there's no meat. However, we still have our protein.
Exactly. So there is no meat option in this, but the cheese offers a good source of protein. Avocados are a great source of fat, and kids love avocado. Cucumbers, you can also offer a dip, and a Greek yogurt, which offers a lot more protein than a regular yogurt. It's about twice the amount.
All right, now as what you just heard from Alexis, we have a lot of very healthy options. We really don't want to go this route because of the sodium coming up. We'll tell you what other healthy options that you should be eating.
Man, I feel guilty. I brought in a couple of slices of leftover pizza from Friday nights for my breakfast this morning.
You also had cinnamon rolls for breakfast this morning.
I did have cinnamon rolls for breakfast this morning.
You need to listen to what Allison's telling. They smell
Breakfast number
delicious.
2. We're going to check in with Allison Brown, who is here kicking off back to school week for us.
That's right. If you have some questions on what you should be making for your kids' lunch, how can you make it a little bit healthier, she's here to tell you how to do that. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, y'all. So far we've talked about eating healthy for breakfast, eating healthier for lunch. Now we're gonna go to the after school part, which is why I always came home and I was like, what am I gonna eat? I'm hungry, I'm famished. And so here to help me with that is Alexis. So what do we have here? Let's start down this end of the table.
So whenever we think snacks, we think fruits and vegetables, and those are always a good option to try and get the more the better. So using celery with peanut butter is a great option, even some apples with caramel dip. That's a perfectly fine option too. We want to reduce the amount of sugar that we're consuming, but every now and then it's okay to have a little something sweet. Popcorn is a fabulous snack, high in fiber, low in sodium, and it's filling. You can eat a lot of popcorn for a little amount of calories and salt. So veggies, of course, always a good option. And we talked a little bit about yogurt earlier. I am a huge proponent for yogurt. It's filling, it's good for calcium, it's sweet too. You can get a lot of good flavors, so it's always a good option. One thing that we want to think about really for snacking and actually all day is our beverages that we give our kids. Choosing a healthier option for a beverage is going to make a lot of a difference. So reducing the amount of sugar that we eat or that we drink, replacing mostly with water. We want to choose water is always better. Sports drinks we want to be careful of just because they are high in sugar, and really it's been shown that we only need a sports drink about 2 hours after activity. So paying attention to that, and we can even get the lighter calorie ones, probably a better option. And then milk's a good option also for beverages.
Okay, now what do we have here?
So this is just a little bit of a trail mix. So doing some kind of nut, almonds, cashews, walnuts, anything like that. Some dried fruit, raisins, cranberries, dried bananas, anything like that. And just a little bit of dark chocolate for some sweetness.
Okay, and what do we have here?
So this was something that you can use for lunch or a snack. Some whole grain Triscuits, avocado, that good fat, also offers a little bit of protein. And then fruits and vegetables are good options. Cheese sticks, huge fan of cheese sticks because they're filling. They give you good calcium and they give you some protein too.
Okay, thank you so much, Alexis. Now take a look at this again. This is how much sugar is in this bottle of Mountain Dew, and I definitely think I should stop drinking Mountain Dew because I've been drinking a lot of these lately. Coming up, we have a challenge for you, and hopefully you can join along with us.
You're always up for a challenge.
I am always up for a challenge. And one of my favorite things about this is that you can literally, it's all about making it at home so that you know exactly what's going into your kid's lunch as opposed to, going out and buying something and having to read the label. This way, you know everything.
You know everything. And,
well, now it's time to check in with KHQA's own Allison Brown, who isn't far from home this morning.
No, she's landed actually right in our KHQA kitchen, but she's teaching you some healthy snack alternatives and lunch for your kids as they go back to school.
Happy Monday. So again, we've been talking about healthy eating all morning, healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, healthy snacks. And now, hopefully, I've learned something throughout this hour and a half we've been here. And here with me is Alexis from Quincy Medical Group. So now you're going to put me to the test. So hopefully, out of everything that you said, you're going to give me how much time?
15 seconds.
15. That's a lot less than what we agreed for. 15 seconds. All right, you ready?
You'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
All right. That's easy enough. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay, you said that. We might do
12.
that.
15. Okay. So very good. So right here you have your grains and your protein. So
Okay,
you're
so
getting 2 in 1.
So I did get that right because I remember you
Yep.
saying that this is a mix. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so very good. You got your fruit and you got your vegetables and then a low calorie beverage. So that's perfect.
Oh, wow.
You passed.
Yay, with an A. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go through some quick tips and some things that people may not know about certain foods. So let's talk a little bit about the banana. So what have we been doing wrong this entire time?
We're actually peeling the banana wrong, and this one's cut in half so you can't see the other end. But really when we peel a banana, it's supposed to be that you pinch it here and then you pull it down instead of the other side. But I think both ways work just well.
Okay, as long as you get to the banana. All right, and again, you said for the kiwi, we're going to grab a spoon. You said that you're supposed to scoop.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. You kind of just go around the edges. And then, well, that one broke, but you can scoop it out. So it makes it a lot easier to eat the whole fruit.
Okay, now I have another question. We had a whole newsroom debate about this last week about how to wash your fruit.
Good question.
I put soap on my fruit, like just like I'm washing my hands. That's how I grew up washing fruit. I will put soap on this and I'll wash it off like hot water, just like I'm washing my hands. Am I doing that wrong?
That might give it a pretty bad taste.
I completely wash it off.
Okay, so you could do that. I maybe would caution against it, but you know, warm water, washing it off, really scrubbing it. They do sell some fruit and vegetable scrubbers in the store. Or one way that I really like to do with especially berries and more of our more sensitive fruits, get a big bucket of water, put like a half of a cup of vinegar in it, and actually wash the fruit and vegetables in the vinegar and water.
Okay. Now again, you're saying that all of these are pretty good healthy eating options, and these can be great substitutes for those unhealthy options that we've been eating this entire time.
Yes.
Now, coming up, we'll tell you what else that you can do as far as healthy eating habits, and I guess Chad, Tegan, and Kristen, you guys are right. I lost it.
I like when you can admit defeat, Allison. I like that a lot. So stop washing with the soap.